Welcome back to another Deal of the Week video. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's actually going to be led by a coworker of mine who is right there asleep at the wheel. He hasn't had his coffee this morning. I might have to just sub in for him a little bit to tell you guys how we structured this client's deal. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different because a lot of the times I tell you guys about my real estate investors and what my investors are doing in order to scale through financing. This client's journey actually started with me over 2 years ago. Initially, she had reached out to me on Instagram and she needed help with wanting to purchase a property, but kept getting turned down by other lenders that she was speaking to. And obviously it's because she hadn't gotten to the right place yet. But after we jumped on a call, I was able to figure out that the real issue was just in the way that she was structuring her taxes. Now, when it comes to clients who have to structure their taxes in order to qualify, the game plan starts ahead of time. Luckily for her, that was 2 years ago when she was not ready to purchase a property. And so we ended up structuring her taxes in a way that actually did help her qualify, mainly because she runs her own business. She's a hairdresser and she wanted to be able to purchase a property. But you have to be very mindful of how you structure your taxes when you're self-employed, as banks in reality just don't like us as self-employed individuals. They want to make it a lot harder for us to purchase real estate. We ended up doing 2023 and 2024 taxes correctly for her. Now she was able to actually close on her very first primary residence. So I want to walk you guys through what I recommended for her, how I talked to the realtor, how we structured the deal, why this is going to save her more money, and how she was actually able to get into a property where she really thought that she wasn't going to be able to purchase any properties anytime soon. Let's jump right into the specifics. This property she purchased for $455,000. It is in California. It's just not in the type of market that you would expect for more expensive price points. And so we were able to negotiate some money for seller credits. Now, when I first talked to her about seller credits, she had absolutely no idea what that even was and how it even plays into her ability to purchase a property. You guys know that I talk a lot about seller credits. If you've watched any of my other videos, I talk consistently about how my clients are able to use credits in order to purchase lower interest rates, in order to save money out of pocket, in order to fix and repair things at a property. And so when I got on the phone with her realtor, I told her, I said, hey, we need to negotiate money in for credits because she frankly just didn't have enough money that she actually needed in order to be able to close. And we wanted to try to save her as much money as we could up front. That way she could then use everything else to go and fix up the property the way that she actually had wanted to do it. So luckily for her, we were able to negotiate $5,000 in seller credits, which we used to cover the closing costs. This loan program, because she was a first-time home buyer, we used an FHA loan, putting 3.5% down. Now, there's a big misconception around FHA financing where people think that you have to be a first-time home buyer in order to utilize this loan program. That is not correct. You can actually purchase a property using an FHA loan as long as you don't currently have one in your portfolio already. Meaning, if none of your property mortgages that you might have are with an FHA loan, you can go use it again to go purchase a new property that you plan to live in. So for her, I picked FHA financing over conventional financing because it was going to be leading to a lower monthly payment. There's two things that are super important that we look at when we're looking at analyzing a first-time home buyer's property. It's what is the monthly payment going to be and what is the total out-of-pocket going to be. There is nothing more important than those two things, and that is exactly what I was looking at for her when we were trying to figure out what kind of loan program to utilize. We put 3.5% down. The down payment was $13,650. Her closing costs came in a little bit more expensive, around $15,300. Now, the reason why I always talk about seller credits is to avoid things like paying a ton of money for closing costs. So luckily for her, she was able to then get $5,000 in credits, which covered a portion of the closing costs in this situation. We were able to lock in a 5.99% interest rate for her, and the total monthly payment came out to $3,423.15. So overall, it was a great property, mainly because she was able to come in with like much less out of pocket. It wasn't really that much money that she was bringing to the table in order to be able to close. Whereas like most people are assuming that they're going to come in with like, you know, a 6 to 8% out of pocket number. We were luckily able to bring this one closer to like 5%, somewhere right around there is where we had it. And so it was good because we got those seller credits. We were able to negotiate the money for her. She was able to save her money up front. And now she has those extra $5,000 in her pocket that she can go use on repairs or furniture or design or anything else that she wants to do with her house. This is why I always say that the journey doesn't start when you want to go purchase a property. The journey starts before you're even ready to go purchase a property. Because if you're not talking to a professional about the things that you need in order to be able to get the house that you want to get, then there's no plan of action for you. And this is why I tell my clients all the time, at the end of the day, my job is to come up with a game plan for you so that we can say, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z so we can get the result that we want to get. And that's exactly what happened for her. That's exactly why we had to do it 2 years ago. And that's exactly why she's closing on her property today. Overall, I'm excited. I love to structure deals like this because they're some of the simplest deals to structure, but it's still things that people just simply do not pay attention to. They don't pay attention to the type of program they're using. They don't pay attention to the down payment. They don't pay attention to the credits. And most loan officers won't even tell you the things that I just told you in this video. If you guys need help with financing or you're looking at acquiring your next investment property, there's no better team than my team to help you guide you to the finish line. Feel free to reach out to us. I would be more than happy to help you guys out. We will see you guys in the next Deal of the Week video.